Eli came back from Iraq and tattooed a teddy bear onto the inside of his wrist. Above that, a medic with an IV bag, and above that, an angel. But Eli says that the teddy bear won't live. And I know I don't know, but I say I know. Because Eli's only 24, and I've never seen eyes further away from childhood than his, eyes old with a wisdom he knows I'd rather not have. I have seen the others, and I have discovered that this fight is not worth fighting. Eli's mother traces the teddy bear onto the inside of my arm and says, not all casualties come home in body bags. And I swear, I'd spend the rest of my life writing nothing but the word light at the end of the tunnel. If I could just find the effing tunnel, I'd write nothing but white flags. Somebody pray for the soldiers. Somebody pray for what's lost. Somebody pray for the mailbox that holds the official letters to the mothers, fathers, sisters, and little brothers of Michael 19, Stephen 21, John 33. How ironic that their deaths sound like Bible verses. Oh, I've seen their mothers, and I will no other to follow me where I'm going. So take a shower, shine your shoes. You got no time to lose. You're a young man, you must be living. Go now, you are forgiven. But how can we forget what we never knew? The sky is so perfectly blue, it's repulsive. Somebody tell me where God lives, because if God is truth, God doesn't live here. Our lies have seared the sun too hot to live by. There are ghosts of kids who are still alive, touting M16s with trembling hands. While we dream ourselves stars on a survivor, another missile sets fire to the face in the locket of a mother whose son needed money for college, and she swears she can feel his photograph burn. How many wars will it take for us to learn that only the dead return? The rest remain forever, caught between shrapnel shatter, body of 3-year-old girl to, welcome to McDonald's, can I take your order? The mortar of sanity. Crumbling, stumbling back home to a home that will never be home again. Eli doesn't know if he can ever write a poem again. 1/3 of the homeless men in this country are veterans, and we have the nerve to support our troops with pretty yellow ribbons while giving nothing but dirty looks to their outstretched hands. Tell me what land of the free sets free its 18-year-old kids into greedy war zones, owns them like missiles, and then returns their bones in the middle of the night. Each life swept beneath the carpet and hidden like dirt. Each life a promise that we never kept. Jeff Lacey came back from Iraq and hung himself in his parents' basement with a garden hose. The night before he died, he spent 45 minutes in his father's lap, rocking like a baby, rocking like, "Daddy, save me." And don't think for a minute he too isn't collateral damage. When the flowers were stolen from my uncle's grave, my grandmother drove to our house and collapsed at our front door, strangled as an empty Christmas stocking, wailing for her piece of coal. I had never seen a person so finished with God. Her face, a massacre of grief, her cries like shoveled granite chewed through her shrilling throat. All they left was the flag, she kept screaming. I thought her lungs would start bleeding. It scraped my chest clean, hollowed me for weeks. Our house was the echo of a mother clawing the floorboards for her dead son. A down forest in her nail beds. At night, I obsessed over how long flowers might survive in the hands of thieves. Spent a month scorning for answers in the photographs of my father in Vietnam. He was as thin as a blade, his eyes unfiltered as the cancer that they were given for free. Anyone could see, but the freckle in his eye, that war, was no place for a soldier. The heart is no place for the talons of the kind of secrets you can only keep in the same chamber you will keep loaded to keep waking the ghosts of dead children. My uncle wasn't killed by a bullet. He drank himself to sleep trying to drown out their tiny screams. And my grandmother followed him to the grave like every mother does. I keep thinking of them today as I sit in my parents' living room, My father's been home from the hospital for a week, but I was just told he spent 3 years in a field of Agent Orange, but is refusing to accept his 10% veterans discount because a true patriot knows the cost of war and pays for it himself. You know, I have written this poem before, but always through a window, never through an open door. I don't hear words anymore. The president announces the end of war, and I just stare at my mother's eyes as my father's face falls into the trembling trench of his hands, like a boy fresh out of boot camp who just dropped his gun into somebody else's cradle. When a war ends, what exactly does that look like? Do the cells and bodies stop detonating themselves? Does the orphanage stop screaming for its mother? The bough is breaking, the cradle is falling. Right now, our government is recording the test scores of Black and Latino fourth graders to see how many prison beds will be needed in the year 2021. Right now, there's a man outside that street with outstretched hands so full of heartbeats that no one can hear. Each tear a broken crescendo falling onto closed ears. And at his side, there is a girl with eyes like an anthem that no one stands up for. This is for the ones who know that the math of war has always been subtraction, and so they live like an action of addition. Remember, when you melted the desert and the sand became a mirror, if you could stand so close the flames caught the lashes of your eyes, if you could memorize one fading face falling into smoke and never ever forget, if you could let one more soldier write his blood type on his boots, would you let your pursuit of happiness steal so much God from the heart I know is still pounding beneath your bloody hands? At 4 a.m., I find my father in the living room. The newscaster says that the number of U.S. soldiers killed in war this month was outdone by the number that came home and committed suicide. Outside, there is a flag waving from my front porch. My father picked it out as carefully as he picked out my name when he built our house. I want to tell him that I still build my spine from the clothesline that holds his work shirts, but I know I'd start crying. I'm exactly like him. We both have wrinkles around our eyes, 100 years older than our ages. We both carry ourselves like ambulances with someone dead inside, hoping that we'll get there in time. And I didn't get here in time. This house echoes like an empty canteen. Flowers don't survive long in the hands of thieves. So much is wilted. It'll take me a few more years to learn that flying is not simply pushing away from the ground. Safety is not always safe. You can find one on every gun. I'm aiming to do better. I look outside at the flag aglow in the moonlight, and I remember something that I was told years ago. I was told in World War II, 80% of US soldiers could not bring themselves to kill an enemy soldier that they found sleeping. Sleeping. I want to ask my father if he thinks that it's true, but I know he won't sleep if I do. And he needs to sleep. God knows. We all do.